Hi, Cancer. Welcome to Earth, Wisdom, Fire Tarot. This is your 2020 forecast reading. If you were around my channel last year, my old channel, Simone Ascending, um, I did these for 2019 and they were super popular. Like, people have been begging me about like doing the 2020 readings already. So it took a while for me to get them up, but they're here now. If you're interested in getting a personal version of this, you can find all that information in the description box. You can visit my new website, earthwisdomfire.com, to find more information there. But yeah, I pulled some cards in advance and just like meditated on them, um, and just like deeply connected to the energy to give you like a good foundation for this reading. So you can use this reading any way you want. This can be for your sun, moon, rising, or Venus, or you can just watch all of them, whatever works for you. But hopefully this will help you in setting your intentions for 2020. So we have Eternal Life as the first card, and this is really about the cycles of like creation and destruction. All these cards kind of are actually. So this to me makes me feel like you've already endured a lot. You've been through a lot. You've survived a lot of change, a lot of conflict, a lot of difficulties, and you're going to continue in that vein of, just being able to get through anything. Um, there's a very deep connection to your higher self, your soul, whatever you want to call it, your higher power. And that's what helps you survive the life and death cycles, over and over and over again. It just feels like you've been asked to transform and level up over and over again, and you've learned all your lessons and you've made it through a lot. And that's why you've come out the other side, fully ready for anything. And what's interesting is that the next card is Slay the Ego, which is about Kali here, destroying in order to bring about a new cycle of creation. Like, something has to be destroyed in order for something to be created. So it's that same sort of life and death cycle. But what's interesting with this card here is that it's talking about slaying the ego. So if you've had like, a really hard time reconciling this openness and compassion and magnanimous energy from your higher self with who you are as just like a little human here on earth, like, you're gonna be given opportunities to really understand what your purpose is here, like what your ego is actually doing to serve you here in this reality. And once you see your ego as a tool, you won't even have to do something as drastic as cut its head off and like completely destroy it. You're able to integrate and be able to work with that energy without feeling totally overtaken by it, which is very important because this last card here, White Lady, Mother, of course there had to be a mother energy in here because you're Cancer. But I just noticed that. I thought that was interesting. But this is a very interesting energy here. It deals with like addictions and not being in charge of your own destiny, kind of like being controlled. And it feels like you're being controlled by an addiction, by a substance or a person or a type of person or a type of energy. And you're getting this opportunity to really gain wisdom from your past experiences with this addiction in order to break free, because all of these energies here are really talking about freedom in different ways and from different directions. So I feel like all of these, even though they're difficult, they're opportunities, for you to fulfill your soul's desire for you in this lifetime to achieve real liberation. And it's not coming in the way that you think. It's not coming through, whatever sort of preconceived notions you had about this process. You are going to have to be open to being surprised, to being kind of jolted out of your complacency or your sort of fixed worldview if you have one of those. This is real, true, deep transformation here. You've been through so much, you've already been through so much transformation, but this is like total rebirth type energy here. Phoenix rising from the ashes. No, my mom's gonna like that one. Hey, mom. My mom's a Cancer. So is my man. How you doing? Okay, so now I'm gonna look at what you're leaving behind in 2019. Okay, so no surprise here. You have the death card here. So it was a year of having to release a lot, having to let go of a lot in order to really, and look, the Ankh is in both of these cards here. And that means like oneness. So I feel like, you know, you understand death very intimately and you're not afraid of it anymore. There's no fear felt in this energy. It's more like an acceptance of it, you know? So with this tower energy, this is, you know, again, like rapid change and destruction. And there has been some sort of major shift in your awareness and an awakening that might have been kind of violent. It might have been kind of difficult for you to stomach while it was happening. But what it helped you do, it helped you open up to um, inspiration and stability coming through in ways that you didn't expect. And it helped you sort of change your behavior and change how you present yourself to the world, so that you could receive a different type of energy and outcome. So the Tower card and the Death card had to sort of clear out things that weren't meant for you. Like you were headed down a road here with the Ten of Pentacles that, you know, might have felt stable, it might have felt safe, it might have been what you were used to, but it wasn't going to truly fulfill you on a heart level. There was something here that you were looking for with the Two of Cups, something much more fulfilling and heart based. And I feel like, you know, you've had to release anything that doesn't resonate with you on that deep level, and be open to the real thing coming through. And I think if there's any sort of fear, it's almost like your fear actually getting what it is that you want, because you know that at any moment anything could be taken away. You like, there's nothing to be attached to. You can never be attached. Like, things are constantly flowing in, constantly flowing out. And you're so intimately acquainted with that cycle that getting excited about something and hoping that it stays, you know, it just is not an option for you anymore. So this Daughter of Pentacles and this Daughter of Wands is really embracing creativity and, you know, feeling more in touch with your ability to manifest something new into your reality. Instead of just letting things happen to you, you're putting yourself out there and you're making things happen. You're just sort of like sending out the message to the universe like, hey, I'm ready for something new. I'm ready to change my behavior. I'm ready to choose differently, the way that I show up in the world. So we'll see if the universe is listening, but I'm guessing the answer is definitely yes. Otherwise, that message would not come through. Let's look at what's happening in early 2020 for you. Let's put it this way. Interesting. Okay, so we have the Two of Pentacles. So the first part of the year is really just going to be kind of balancing the old with the new. You're kind of like in transition between the old cycle and the new one. And the Two of Pentacles, I think, is just like really trying to get a grasp on what is within your control, what is within your abilities, what kind of energy you have to expend on certain things, and just being kind of economical about where you're spending your energy. So you have the Ace of Wands, which is a brand new opportunity for spiritual growth, for, you know, passion and excitement and intensity. So, you know, you had a lot of that last year with the Tower card, but I think that this is more creativity and like being able to create something new instead of something having to be destroyed. So this is fun energy. And the Seven of Swords is very interesting. I'm getting like a very like seductive energy, and I feel like this is like almost being like seduced by the old sort of addictions that you kicked, or the old sort of temptations that used to make you, that used to distract you or kept you small and kept you sort of hiding your real true light from the world. But it's not going to work because you have this hermit energy here, and you're going to do the right thing. So I do feel like you are going to need to spend some time in the early part of the year in deep introspection. So make sure that you're meditating, make sure that you are doing things that really connect you to yourself and help you hear what your heart is telling you. I feel like you're gonna be this like beacon of light, and I'm getting healing energy. Like this healing energy is being like, you're exuding it, you know? What's interesting is that I'm seeing a connection between the light in this card and the light in this card. So it's like whatever is coming to tempt you, it's trying to steal your light because it can't create it. And it's almost like you're invisible to this energy because all it's looking for is a light. It's just looking to devour it, and it's like a fuel or an energy source, and they can't create that light for themselves. And you have plenty of light. So I don't feel you will be truly deceived by this. It's not really going to register with you. It's not going to resonate with you the way that it used to, because you might have had some, you know, some healing to do that you've done. This death card feels like it's actually a healing cycle, you know, that forced you to let go of a lot. But once you let go of it, you didn't have any sort of empty void to fill, that you weren't vulnerable to this type of energy anymore. You've really turned a new leaf, and there's like this fresh start available to you. So let's look at the second half of the year. So many cards. Okay. So the bottom of the deck is the Three of Cups. So the second half of the year, you're definitely coming out of the Hermit energy. Maybe not by choice, but it's definitely happening here. You're definitely gonna have to like put yourself out there more, and I feel like it's gonna be somewhat comfortable for you. There's the Seven of Pentacles and Seven of Cups energy. That's interesting. I feel like there's this sort of like discomfort in the unknown, which is interesting because you've been through so many, you know, death and rebirth cycles, but there's still going to be something kind of uncomfortable about not knowing for sure what to do or what path to take or what's happening. And you're very intuitive, so you're very in touch with what's happening, but not having the physical evidence of it yet is what's going to kind of trip you up and make you feel a little bit antsy and make you feel a little bit confused and scattered. So I feel like that's a major lesson that you're going to be learning in the second half of the year is patience and trust. You have the Five of Cups here, so you are going to experience some sort of loss. And it's not necessarily, something that is new to you, but I think it is going to require you to fully grieve and to fully let go and to fully process the emotions that this brings up for you. You can't bottle any of it up. And I feel like that's what these first three cards from the Tantric Dakini Oracle were talking about, was kind of like being open to things leaving your reality and just knowing that you'll survive, knowing that you'll thrive even with nothing, like being attached to nothing. So you're going to get more and more opportunities here to learn about detachment through loss, which, is hard, but you'll definitely make it through. You have the Eight of Pentacles, which means that you'll definitely stay very busy. You'll have lots of work. You'll have lots of creative inspiration and, lots of things to keep you busy and to keep you focused on what really matters. It's been coming up in a lot of the readings, and that's really good because, 2020 is like a 4-year, it's a year of like doing work. And I feel like this Eight of Pentacles is really like building on the foundation that's already been built for you or that you've already built yourself, and just keep going, keep mastering your craft, keep getting better and better, and keep trusting that you're on the right path, because you are. You have the Sun card, which is about really embracing positivity, embracing clarity and true love, and um, happiness and joy. So I feel like no matter how dark things get, no matter how much is taken from you or how much you have to grieve, there's always going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. And holding on to this will help keep you in an optimistic frame of mind and help you manifest the beautiful balance to all of the death and destruction and loss and letting go, because it can be very exhausting when you don't have evidence of the new coming in. But you do have some really positive, beautiful new energy coming in with the Ace of Wands and the Sun card. I feel like creatively and creatively, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you to express yourself, for you to feel like you're in the flow, for you to feel like you have something to look forward to, like something to work on, something to kind of keep you focused and keep you busy and keep you feeling really alive. So now we're going to look at love. See what's happening for you in the love realm. Okay. Wow. You have the Ace of Cups. So you definitely have love coming in. And the Ace of Cups is a very true, very pure love. It's divine love. So this is not just, a fling. It's not just an earthly type of love. This is the love that helps you feel close to God. Like that's really big. It's really exciting. So you have the God of Wands here right off the bat. So you're definitely in for some passion and some excitement. And the God of Wands is like a very, like, I think for you, it's definitely going to make you feel really alive. Like this is a fun energy, but it's also a very like determined and focused energy. So it's like this person helps you like figure out what your real true passions are and go after it, because that's what they're doing, and they're kind of like inspiring you. Like you inspire each other, which is really cool. You have the Four of Cups, which means that whether this person comes in early in the year or late in the year, like you're gonna have to be patient. Like the Ace of Cups is literally right there being handed to you, and you're minding your own business, focusing on yourself while that's happening. And that's important because you need to know who you are and what you want in order for this energy to really fully come into your life and create a real foundation. Otherwise, it's just going to be fleeting. It's just going to be, it's going to burn out quickly, and that's not what you want. So with the Hanged Man, you're definitely going to have to be patient. You're going to have to kind of just hang out and do your own thing, and really try to surrender, you know, to divine will and not impose your will on the situation. With the Ten of Wands, I feel like the heaviest thing about this relationship is that, you know, you've both been through a lot. You both lost a lot. You've both learned a lot. And neither of you kind of wants to waste time or mess around on insignificant things or superficial things. And I think that sort of heaviness is why you need to be in this Four of Cups energy, at least in this deck. Like, she's very zen, you know, she's meditating, she's trying to connect to her intuition and connect within. And I feel like that's really what is going to prepare you for this and help you understand what you're bringing to the table and what you shouldn't bring to the table. Like, you just leave the baggage behind and not bring it into this situation. So Son of Pentacles is about like a very like steady, slow pace. So this is not going to come into your life very quickly, or, you know, it's not going to burn really hot and then like go away. Like, I feel like you're maybe building a slow friendship with this person over time. You're getting to know each other over time. You're being patient with each other because you want something very real and something very grounded. So you're willing to actually do the real work that it's necessary to build that foundation and to build that healthy relationship. And I think that the only sort of difficulty that brings up for you is that maybe you've been waiting for a very long time for this love, for this relationship to kind of come to fruition. But your patience is definitely going to pay off, because this feels like a very real, this is a real partnership, and it seems like you share a mission. If you don't share a mission, you are a big part of each other's mission. You're a big help to each other. You definitely support each other. You're on the same page. So it's worth waiting for sure. It's worth putting in the work on yourself before this person shows up. If you're already in a relationship, it just feels like things are really, really getting real. Like, you're learning a lot, you're growing a lot together. There's no room for bullshit in this relationship. So the bottom of the deck is higher ground. So you are definitely ascending when it comes to the lessons that your soul wanted to experience in this lifetime. You've transcended a lot of the denser, heavier energies, and things are starting to lighten up. You have ideal course of action. So this is about making really good decisions for yourself. And I don't see anything in this reading that could really trip you up, except for the old addictions or the old sort of attachments that you used to have. That's the only thing that could really prevent you from making the right decision for yourself. You have intuition here, which is really all you need. This is your only, like, this is really the only tool that's going to help lead you on your path anyway, like your heart. So tuning into your intuition is going to be extremely valuable for you throughout this process, because when something is meant for you, when something's right, it's going to feel like an awakening. It's going to feel big. It's not, like, there's no way what's actually meant for you can actually pass you by, because it's like a spiritual activation that's happening. And then you have infinite blessings. So, you know, no matter how much you're forced to give up, no matter how much you have to sacrifice, you have to let go of, you have to say goodbye to, there is always, always more abundance and blessings available to you that are coming in for you. And I feel like you're just going to really see a lot of these blessings pour in for you. It's going to be a little overwhelming, kind of exciting. So get ready. But it's very, very well deserved. You've done a lot of hard work on yourself, I can see. Okay, so you have flexibility. So this is about really being able to adapt to all the changes that have happened. Like you've really gained this sense of flexibility, and it's really, really going to serve you well when it comes to the amount of people that you're dealing with. So I feel like you may be coming across a lot of different kinds of people, possibly. Or you may have a lot of options, you know, that you have to choose from. And I feel like what's really going to help you guide you to what's meant for you is figuring out what's fun. Follow what's fun. Do what feels like playing. Don't do what feels like heavy, burdensome work. Like, I feel like you're the kind of person who's probably always serving others, always taking care of others, and neglecting your own needs. So you have to forgive yourself and forgive others for all of that, and embrace, you know, play, embrace fun, embrace like being able to, you know, have that childhood maybe that you were robbed of as a child because maybe you had to grow up too fast or something like that. Or maybe in relationships you haven't really gotten a chance to just like enjoy and have fun because it's always been really serious and heavy. So the clarity card is beautiful because I feel like this is really a beautiful complement to your intuition. It's like you have like the mental clarity and the third eye totally open, and then you also have the intuition guiding you, and that's a really, really potent combination there. Definitely. Surrender. You've definitely learned a lot about this. And you still have more, you know, you still have more ways that you're going to understand surrender and that you're going to be like connecting to that energy. Surrender to what is, let go of what was, have faith in what will be. If you have picked this card, you are being guided to surrender. Surrender your worries, burdens, and control over outcomes and just be with life in this present moment. By surrendering, you allow life to move forward naturally as it should. Resisting the natural cycles of life only causes anguish, frustration, and a feeling of constant struggle. Dear one, stop persisting and swimming the other way. When you push against life, life pushes back, and what you resist most will continue to exist in your life. Do you feel perplexed by the fall of autumn leaves? No, for there is trust in the natural cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. We too experience these cycles. However, most of us live in a state of unawareness and resist the cycles of birth and death within them. This doesn't mean that you should quit, but rather to make that decision to trust in the cycles of life. For when you are in acceptance of what is, you become more empowered to attract the outcome you desire. Acceptance does not mean giving up your power and light to another, allowing yourself to be ill treated, or giving up on your dreams. Acceptance is giving up your resistance to what is and allowing spirit to guide you to do what needs to be done. When you surrender that tight hold you have on the situation and bring yourself to a place of inner peace, you will find that clarity. Solutions will appear and allow deeper wisdom to guide your way. Energy that was once spent on resistance will now be focused on projects that bring you joy. This in turn will attract the miracles and blessings you so hope for. So that's exactly what I was talking about in this reading. Like, that's why I love reading from this book. It always brings together all the messages. But it's really about realizing that, you know, you're going through these death and rebirth cycles for a purpose, and when you can actually redirect your energy from unconscious sort of behaviors, deliberate things that you know are going to bring abundance and joy and life and like make you feel alive, that's how you're winning. That's how you're transmuting that denser, heavier energy into something light. So I hope this helps. Thank you so much. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in getting a private reading, looking at your 2020, you can find all that information down below in the description box. I love you guys. Bye.